Cool. I think this is working. All right, so we're just going to hang out for a bit until people see that it's up and running. And once people show up, we'll chat. Sounds like a plan. And if no one shows up, we won't chat. I'll just do Instagram or something. That's fine. I know it's last second, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey. Hey, guys. Macrina, Ashos. Hello, hello, hello. Just waiting for some more people to show up, and we can start chatting. Hey, everybody. Chris, Charlotte, hello. Applehead, hello. I haven't done a live stream in a very, very long time, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to hang out. So let's hang out and chat for a little bit. Nothing crazy, just a little chat. See the Wave, hello. I recently re-listened to The Traitor after a few months, and it's in my top 5. Yeah, Traitor's a great song. Really cool song. Well, as people are jumping in, you all know it's Brian's birthday today, and I just watched David Beard's ESQ live stream where he had a whole bunch of cool people on. He had Stevie Killinich on there and Dean Torrance, and I mean, you name it, everybody was there. It was really, really cool. So I thought I would jump on here and just do this for a little bit. Nothing too long, just a little mini Friday night hangout. How are you guys doing? Is my biggest question. How are you guys doing? This past week and a half has been pretty heavy, so I'll make sure you guys are all right, because it's a big one. It's a big one, as you can see. But any questions you guys have or whatever comes up, feel free to chat. What are your thoughts on When a Man Needs a Woman? I love that song. I was playing Friends a lot today. Yeah, I love that record. I know, it's pretty amazing that Brian is the first day of summer. I think it's fitting. Yeah. Still sad about Brian. Yeah, absolutely. It's been rough. I feel like I've lost a family member. I know. That's one thing I mentioned in the video that I made the other day. It was like, a lot of us never got to meet Brian or hang out with him, but we felt like we knew him because his music was so soulful and it made such an impression on our lives that it feels like we knew the guy, It's been rough. We're all feeling the same way. I've only heard Pet Sounds and Surf's Up. What would you recommend next? That's an interesting combination of records that you've heard. Wow. Play Sunflower. Sunflower is a beautifully produced record, full band effort. Everybody puts in the work. It's an amazing album. Yeah, I know XTC. Absolutely. Absolutely, I know XTC. Hi, Chris. Yeah, Sunflower is an amazing album. Opening with Slip On Through with Denny on lead vocals. It's an amazing track to open with. And I'd also recommend Wild Honey. I think that's what's what I'm looking for. I love that album. That's got kind of a cozy vibe as well. I mean, Friends does too, but Friends can be a little off-putting for some people when they're new to it. All the Wilsons seem so humble, and each with their own personality, but they all had love in their hearts. Something the world needs more of. These generations don't have enough. I know. Yeah, we definitely need more love in this world, and they definitely put that in their music for sure. And Grandma's fave band was the Beach Boys, and probably she hasn't called me about Wilson yet. Yeah, man, it's sad. The last few tracks of Surf's Up are really hitting different now. Yeah, absolutely. Cool Cool Water is another one of my top 5. Cool Cool Water is amazing. Like that's probably in my top 10 of best Beach Boys songs. Just the chill vibe on that one is insane, and yeah, the way that they captured that like warm spirit is truly something else. Truly something else. There's my Jenny girl. Hi, Jenny girl. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Pet Sounds is amazing for a reason. Yeah, Pet Sounds has some of the best songs ever written. It'll be always be an S tier record. It always will be. Yeah, that cultured boy. Yes, I agree. Between Pet Sounds and Holland, they were a whole different group. They were all writing for the band at that point. You know, pretty crazy. I think Van Dyke Parks and Brian made amazing collaborations together, specifically Orange Crate Art and Smile. Thanks for introducing me to Smile earlier this year. I'm glad you dig it. I'm glad you dig or Surf Sunflower. Oh, Sunflower. Yeah, yeah, for the review. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad you dig Sunflower. It's just an amazing album. Truly is amazing. Let's Put Our Hearts Together is one of my favorites. That's cool. That's a deep cut. So the Beach Boys XM channel, I've been reaching out to my contacts over the last few days because I put it on like what Wednesday morning and it was already gone, and I was like, "That's it." So they must have just done it for Brian as a special thing. But yeah, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to I'm trying to keep that one going because it needs to be on the time. It needs to be on all the time. If Pearl Jam can have their own radio station, the Beach Boys can have their own. No offense to Pearl Jam, but like, come on. Um, and I've been reaching out to them to see if they want like, because I can do content for them. So there's that. I remember the first time I listened to Don't Talk when I was 13. Mind blown. Yeah, Don't Talk is a wild song. Beautiful track. Brian Wilson forever. Absolutely. Oh, the Beach Boys channel was only supposed to be for 2 days? Wow, I didn't know that. Well, that's cool we got a week out of it then. Thanks for the information, McCready. That's awesome. That's really cool. Holy smokes. Yeah, but I mean, something like that, like there's so many people that could talk about the Beach Boys that can make good content, themed episodes, genre specific things. You could do a lot with that channel. So I'm trying. Yeah, the bass on Love You it's wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, Still I Dream of It was always a sad song, but after he passed, it somehow became even more heartbreaking. Um, he just you hear his personality so much in that song. Like Time for Supper now, my thoughts are fleeting now. It's just like a day in the life of Brian, and now he's gone. It really is. It's sad. If I'm the music industry, I was just talking about them the other day. That's funny you brought them up. Hey yo, Aaron. Um, yeah, they mentioned they had a song called Brian Wilson's Beard of Defiance or something. What was that song? Or Beard of Defiance, Brian Wilson's beard. Something. It was on the blue and pink cover one. I can't remember what the name of it was. That's funny. Been a Beach Boys fan since 1968 when I was 3. Wow, that is cool. You've been a Beach Boys fan for that long. You got to see it all. That's amazing. Wow. American Bandstand with Brian, Carl, Dennis, Mike, and Al, and everybody Dick Clark. Show Brian's courtesy and humility and the rest of the young age. Yeah, I love that clip of them all on American Bandstand. Yeah. I can't listen to his music right now. I know it's tough. I mean, there's moments where I'm like really cool with it, and then there's certain songs that come on, and I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I have to drive. It's not gonna happen. But yeah, today I was good with Friends. Meant for You was getting me, but the rest of the album I was doing okay with. Oh, Thank Him was an amazing demo. That's one of the songs they could have definitely done themselves. Pet Sounds and Mount Vernon and Fairway as masterpieces. Mount Vernon and Fairway, that piano is just out of this world. I sent Sirius a clips from Paul McCartney's tribute to Brian to remind Sirius how many people loved him. Paul's clip was over 250,000 hits to show just how much he's loved. Yeah, it's amazing. What was the first song you listened to when you heard of him passing? The first full song all the way through, curiously enough, became Good Vibrations. Like, The day that he passed, I didn't listen to any of his music, just on what people were sharing in stories on Instagram and in my room. Just killed me. That just wrecked me. But I went out with my family to see Ringo last week, and as we were leaving, "Good Vibrations" came on in the car, and that was the first like actual song I like listened to, and I was like, it just took me. It was like hearing it for the first time again. It took me aback. I was like, wow, this is an incredible, incredible song, just incredible. And then since then, I started off with the hits, and I haven't worked into their discography too deeply since. But I haven't played Pet Sounds in full yet. I played the Roxy album the other day because I did the review for it. And then Friends today was like a warm hug. I played Friends a couple times, and it's my favorite album by them. I love that record. What's your favorite memory of Brian? Gosh, there's so many. I just love the clips of him being a goofball and joking around and having so many funny things to say and not wanting to do interviews and talking about food. Like when I think about Brian, I smile because everything is happy with him. You know, he's always, for as sad as he could have been and as hard as his life was sometimes, he definitely found the love to give to other people. And a lot of people who go through hard times are like that. They want to be a beacon of light because they know what it's like on the other side. So, yeah, I'm gonna say some of those clips, and specifically the one of Brian with Van Dyke Parks in the Smile movie, as they're talking about like how to play heroes and villains. I love that bit. Till I Die, I start to listen to now. I haven't played that one yet. Well, I heard it in the Roxy CD, but I haven't played the original with the Beach Boys on it. I actually heard a cleaned up demo of Thank Him on the Sirius channel last year. Yeah, they play it every once in a while. Absolutely. Any chance of Mike's band getting together with Al Jardine and David Marks for a tribute concert? I'm sure it's in the works. It's just too new. Nothing's been nothing's been set up with that kind of stuff. It won't be for a while. Um, I think it's still too raw for everybody involved, and it's going to be quite a while before anything like that comes up. But I'd like to see them all get together again. Get Blondie, Ricky, everybody involved. Um, Bobby on drums, Ed Carter, get everybody out there. I was at my birthday lunch when I heard the news. Oh, well, happy birthday! And I'm really sorry that it happened on your birthday. Friends has been on repeat for me. Yeah, it's a beautiful album. I listened to Pet Sounds today. Still love the original music video when they walk into the pool when Sleep John B. I love that video. Yeah, and I loved he was sitting next to Carl and Brian said he loves food. I know the Carl's laugh was the best in that video. Happy birthday, Brian! Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any favorite books covering the history of the Beach Boys? Anything by David Leap is great. Definitely more Brian centric, but those books are great. And there's one called The Beach Boys from 2003 or four by Keith Badman. Some people say there's a lot of false information in it, but it's actually I think it's a pretty decent read, honestly. I'm not sure if it's in print anymore, but it was a really good book. Had my art diploma the same day. Oh, you got your art diploma. That rules. Congratulations. How cool is that? Best Brian solo album, in my opinion. Hmm. That's tough. I'm gonna say Lucky Old Son, only because it came out when I was in college, and it was the first like new release of Brian's music that I was aware of. I was aware when Smile came out, of course, but that was old, and it got finished. But as far as something new, yeah, Lucky Old Son was a big deal. I mean, like Brian's band was on fire at that point, and hearing something so fresh and vibrant and new like that album was truly something special. And I love all those songs. And I remember Midnight's Another Day coming out as a demo on his website about a year before the album came out, and that version still blows my mind. I'm not sure if that's accessible anywhere anymore. I have an MP3 of it, but Brian's demo version of Midnight's Another Day is amazing. But the whole album is great, and Van Dyke Parks is on it again, so I love that album a lot. Really, really cool. Where am I here? Feel kind of bad just now. I'm getting into his solo albums. Don't feel bad. Enjoy the journey. It doesn't matter when you discover an artist. It just matters that you discover them. And so, his passing may have been the sign for you to get into his records. And that's all that matters because the music will be around forever and you'll make new memories with that music. Just like all of us will make new memories with all the music we already love. Music's incredible and there's always an audience for it. Catching up, guys. You guys are fast. I was at the airport when my daughter texted me. My eyes welled up with tears and I lump in my throat. Brian and the boys have been such an important part of my life. I hear you. Smile box set is so fun. Yep. I played Lucky Old Sun last night. Yeah. I gotta put it on. Orange Crate Art. That's my second fave. That's my fave. Second up is that Lucky Old Sun. Awesome, girl. Hey, Gigs, I've been watching for a few years. Just wanted to say thanks for always spreading the positivity and that good music. Thanks, Vincent. That means a lot. Thank you so much. My co-teacher broke the news to me during our prep period. I was deeply upset. I actually thought of you within seconds, and then he felt even sadder. I don't want this to sound big-headed, but the amount of messages I got that day was insane. I got like 200 messages that day, and it was absolutely incredible. Well, it means a lot that you guys thought of me, but obviously Brian's the main guy here. Brett's History Club, hello. Um, your channel, I love your channel so much. Like you, I have about everything the Beach Boys did. By the way, did you get the new book? Subscribing is one of the best things I've ever done. I love it. The David Leaf book. Yes, I got it up there actually. If that's what you mean. What was it like being a teen in the 2000s? I'm an 06er, lol. Oh my god. Being a teen in the 2000s was pretty cool because like the internet was taking off and the space age technology. YouTube was new. So you can see a lot of videos that you hadn't seen before, which was great because before that you had to like get a video or hope to get it from the library or something. So, um, discovering music was still, you read websites and bands had decent websites back in the day. So you just go through bands' websites. It's so much easier now with Instagram. You're on one page and you just scroll and see everybody's updates. It's so much easier to learn things now. But back then, you just had to scroll, go to websites and see what was going on. But yeah, it was cool. It was always you didn't know any better because that's just how it was. Um, yeah, it was cool. It's the only way I can describe it. There was no social media beyond MySpace, and Facebook was a baby, so Facebook was all right, but there was no Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and all that kind of stuff. For better or for worse, however you want to put your worldview around that. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Catching up with you guys. Catching up with you guys. I wrote a post about this on Reddit, but I wish people treated Brian's genius on its own. Like I feel like some companies' memorials were just he inspired Sergeant Pepper's. I know a lot of people are like he inspired this to happen, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but he also was his own person. Um, wow, Chris, you didn't know about it till you got home. Jeez, oh, that's rough. I'm sorry. That's rough. Sounds of Summer is the endless summer for millennials. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hi, Daniela. Are you gonna see Al with Brian's band? Yeah, I am at some point. Oh, you're going to Brisbane. That's awesome. Nice. I'm so glad they're going to Australia. After a beautiful event, the best way to honor that is joy. The day after, I talked to David for his book. Oof. Yeah. Imagine if Caribou Records came back and released sessions. Well, if they can salvage them, there was a fire, so a lot of the Caribou stuff is gone. What's your favorite book about the Beach Boys, Brian, in terms of historical high insight? Um, there's one called The Beach Boys. What's that one called? I think it's called Beach Boys Concert, and it's just about all their shows, but there's like day to day stuff that happened as it was going along, just like the Keith Badman book is kind of like that too. So I dig those. I dig those. The Beach Boys in their the Beach Boys in their own words. Yeah, that's a cool book too. Absolutely. There's some misinformation in there, but it's still pretty good. I was wondering if you ever heard Brian Wilson sing along with Richard Ashcroft on the song "Nature Is the Law." The song's from 2003. I don't think I've heard that one. Thanks, Troy. I'll look that one up. I don't think I know that one. I had no idea so much video existed of the 60s until YouTube. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Thoughts on Beach Boys' American Family? I have a lot of thoughts on that movie. Have you ever seen Murray Wilson Rock and Roll Dad? Oh, yes. Absolutely. God, I haven't thought about that in years. Core memory unlocked. Good Lord. I wrote my high school term paper about Brian and the Beach Boys' influence on music and pop culture back in 1976. Not much source material back then. Absolutely not. Wow, that's so cool. Beach Boys, yeah, Summer Dreams. Yeah, it's not the best. Yeah. I still remember going to the Beach Boys tour around 2017 and feeling duped because it was just Mike Love. Look, you don't know until you know. I mean, all they ever show are pictures of the guys in the 60s having fun as, 20 somethings. You don't necessarily, if you're not following along close enough, you're going to go to the Mike Love concert and think that all the guys will be there. But, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Yeah, look up Rock and Roll Dad. It's ugh, I have mixed feelings on it. I feel so lucky to have seen the 50th anniversary tour in 2012, second row. Yeah, I got to go to that tour as well. Very special, absolutely special night. Never forget that. That was the last time I saw Brian in concert. Actually, I only saw Brian twice in concert. First album I listened to after I heard the news was the Beach Boys Today. Is my dad's favorite. That's cool. Nice. I got Brian's autograph from a friend who saw him in Japan, and that's so cool. Wow. How many times did you see Brian live? I saw the 50th reunion show in London, and Brian and Al doing Pet Sounds in Melbourne. I saw Brian twice. I saw him do Smile in 2005, and then the reunion tour in 2012. But I've seen the Mike and Bruce experience. I lost count. I don't know, 4 or 5 times maybe at this point. I don't remember. At the live shows now, at the end of Fun Fun Fun, the drummer does this drum solo where they do a montage of young picks, and for some reason it gives me chills. Yeah, for a while, John Bolton is the drummer. He's an amazing drummer, super nice dude. I've met him before. He's a super nice guy. Usually Mike goes behind him and pours water on the drums, and the water goes splashing everywhere. It's really cool. It's pretty cool. Never been to a concert ever before, but I want to see Al. Yeah, go see Al. Go do it. Go see him. What are some things you're thankful for because of Brian? Jenny Jamble, that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for, seriously, Jenny. I'm thankful for my love of music and my ability to write music. I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for all the people I've met in my life. I'm thankful for understanding myself better over the years and having music that's been there for my happy times and my sad times, just like all of you guys. Yeah, Brian means a lot to all of us in a global way and a very internal way. Do you think Norbit was Brian's favorite movie? Yeah, probably. Why not? Do they do Dennis tribute during the performances? They show him on the screen a lot. The 50th anniversary tour release. Yeah, there was some auto-tune on that and on the studio album too at the time, but I think it's just cool, just to have them available. Oh yeah, Melt Away. Yeah, the She and Him record. Yeah, that was cool. I haven't played that in forever. Ever. You and Jenny are so beautiful together. Thanks, Daniela. That's very sweet. Thank you so much. We think so. I hope Mike and Dennis made up at some point, but who knows? They had their on and off times. They truly did. That's one thing I say about the Beach Boys, and I will say this for the rest of the time. We weren't there. So we don't know exactly what went on. We read things, we hear stories, but from the guys themselves, we will never know what truly happened about anything. I've got to beg my parents and wait for Al to be in the Midwest U.S. Al's coming to Wisconsin soon. I think that's the most Midwest he's getting. But he's adding a lot more dates, so hang in there. He'll probably be around. Do you think they will ever release a 67 box set focusing on Smiley Smile Hawaii Show? They did. Um, yeah, they did the okay, yeah. That was the Sunshine Tomorrow set. As far as putting that in vinyl, I highly doubt it. It's done and it's over, so that's very low on their list of things to do. Very, very low. Fave underrated album, is it Sunflower? I would if you had asked me that 5 or 6 years ago, I would have said Sunflower is underrated, but it's got such a following now. I don't think it's underrated anymore. I think people rate it. Haha. So I think people really dig it now in a more uh commonly accepted way. I don't think it's underrated. I think if underrated would be like Keeping the Summer Alive. I think that's an underrated album. There's great stuff on there. I think the 85 album's underrated. Um, underrated are it sort of signifies things that aren't necessarily celebrated on a day-to-day basis. What do you think of the Al versions of Brian's voice for different songs, like from Love You? Oh, Al sang great. He still does. Get a head out and check out Sunflower. Have fun, Applehead. Enjoy Sunflower. Do you like the Blue Nile? Yeah. Yeah, we actually just sold that record at the record store I work at the other day. It was cool. We do know for a fact that Brian was never in Full House. What? Will Al come to Texas? Hopefully. Brian actually knows me too well. Makes me want to cry. Yeah, his voice is amazing on that song. Saw Brian on the Pet Sounds tour. Amazing. Why does Mike have an obsession with re-recording Do It Again? He's recorded it 5 to 6 times. Because it's probably the most modern sounding song they ever did. It sounded funky and weird in 68, and I think that futuristic feel has carried it this entire time, you know? So you kind of get away with doing it over and over again because it's a very simple song, simple chords. It sounds modern no matter what era you're doing that song. And you can put that on today and it sounds like a new song. Pet Sounds was the only thing that calmed my daughter down when she was crying at 4 years old. That's really sweet. Promo version of 10 Years of Harmony. I've got a promo version of that as well, I believe. Going On is a straight up banger. Yes, it is. Absolutely. If you're watching this, upvote the video. Well, if you guys know how to do that, go for it. I don't know how to do that. Thank you if you do, if that means something. Isn't Surfing Safari a far better album than Surfing USA? Depends who's asking. What you dig. Have you ever checked out Pop Goes the 60s? Matt did a 5-part series on the guy. That sounds familiar, but I really can't remember. Can't remember. Burbank, yeah, of course. Soft Machine. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Air did sample Do It Again. Yes, they did. Just referencing that AMA Brian had on Reddit, they asked him about his cameo, and he said he was never there. Okay, I forgot about that. That's funny. That's funny. Classic Brian. Classic Brian. What's your favorite Dennis vocal performance? His bit on "Girls on the Beach," sun in her hair, sun in her hair, the warmth in the air. That's one of the best things he ever did. Um, uh, Cuddle Up is amazing. Baby Blue, late at night, oh late at night, I dream of you. That bit, when the whole world's sleeping, I dream of you. That part is absolutely a showstopper. Baby Blue's an amazing song, but when Dennis comes on, whew, get the tissues ready. Have you seen Carney's cooking show on Access TV? I haven't actually. I don't have that channel. In 2087, there will be a country disco alt rock honking down the highway that hits #1. We can only hope. When I heard you were the first person I thought of, I hope you were okay. Thanks, Robert. That's really sweet. Thank you. This feels like a safe place to say my most controversial Beach Boys opinion. Ten Little Indians is a decent song. It is not the worst. I'd argue it's Misery Lou. What's your least favorite? My least favorite Beach Boys song? Uh, I mean, on what grounds? Lyrical, musical, topical? Because if that's the case, "Hey Little Tomboy" is easily the worst I can think of off the top of my head. That song is disgusting. Musically, it's good, but the lyrics are just god awful. Was Brian better at bass or Bruce? They were honestly Bruce only knew the Beach Boys songs. He learned how to play those songs on bass from Carl, and that's it. He couldn't jam a riff. He just knew how to play those songs, and that was it. So I'd say Brian was a better bass player. Was there a time in your life when you were obsessed with Smile and discovering the album and its lore was mind blowing? Absolutely, yeah. And I still am to a certain degree. I don't jump in as heavily as I did back in the day, but when you first discover Smile, it is an enigma and it's a mystery that has to be solved, and you're a bit of a Sherlock to figure it out. And it's easier now. Smile Sessions box set exists. Everything's there. You can do whatever you want with it now. It's done. Um, yeah, but growing up, you had to if you read a book that mentioned Smile, it was like, oh, what's that? Because I'm a millennial, an elder millennial. So I was part of the generation that grew up without the internet, and then we had the internet, and then the internet grew. So growing up, I remember seeing pictures of what Smile looked like and being like, wow, that's really cool. That's really weird. And I knew Heroes and Villains, and that's all I knew. And then it wasn't until I was in high school that I discovered more of Smile and went down the rabbit hole at that point, trying to collect all the pieces I could find to put it together. But it's almost like I feel like a lot of that's lost because the Smile Sessions box exists and Brian finished it. I remember when that came out. He finished Smile, it's done. It's just done. So it's kind of mm. I have to sing I Want to Pick You Up. Hey Little Tom. Oh, I have to sing I Want to Pick You Up. Hey Little Tom by Summer of Love live in public tomorrow. Brett, did you lose a bet or something? What happened? I was the first person a lot of people thought of. It's weird to me that I'm the Brian person now. Well, you're in a good club. Put it that way, Yak. You're in a good club. And it's nice that people think of you when they think of good music and good memories. So it's a good thing. TM song, it's a bit rough, James. Yeah. My least favorite song is probably Somewhere in Paradise. Yeah. I like Somewhere in Paradise. I don't mind it. Mike Love going on about we were number one. Thoughts on Barbie by Kenny and the Cadets, featuring Audrey. Yeah. It's cool. It's different. It's a little unusual. It's Al, Carl, Brian, and Audrey. And I think Dorinda Morgan, I think, is on that one too, if I'm remembering correctly. When I heard that Brian had passed, you were the first person I thought of. My latest podcast is a Brian tribute, and you were in it for a minute towards the end. Hope you don't mind. Tim, I'll look for that. Of course I don't mind. Thanks for doing that, man. That's really cool. Lazy Lizzie is Brian saying, okay, little tomboy, hold my beer. God. What is the best Beach Boys book in your opinion? There's a lot of book questions tonight. Um, I'm gonna say the Beach Boys concert book, which goes through all their shows for a handful of years. In the Keith Badman book, I love that one, and the David Leaf books. They're so lovingly written. If you're just jumping in, thanks for hanging out, guys. We're chatting about the Beach Boys and Brian for a little while tonight. My name is Giggins. If you're new here, hi. Do you know "She Rides with Me" by Paul Peterson? I think it's my favorite song Brian wrote for another artist. I don't. If I have heard it, it's been a long time. I know you probably have this in your collection, but just curious. The Teen Set magazine. I don't have any Teen Set magazine. I take that back. No, wait. Uh, what are those? I have a couple. I moved recently, and I don't have all my stuff with me. I have them somewhere. I don't know where they are. Excited about Fred Vale's Cows in the Pasture? Kinda. Brian was there for 10 minutes, so kinda. It'll be interesting. One Smile related thing that's not out there, if it does in fact exist, is a mix they made for the possible inclusion on Light album. Well, yeah, it exists, but it's not We had no one's heard it. Yeah, they messed around with Smile for years. I got a mock-up of Smile in 1986 at the record shop I owned then, and it put me on the quest to hear it all. That's so cool. I heard "Oh Darlin'" live on Going Platinum TV show. Yeah, "Oh Darlin's" an amazing song. I'm glad I watched Long Promised Road. Brian was totally himself. When asked what he did at the height of his fame, he said, "Eat peanut butter and sandwiches and hang out in his tent." Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Brett. Have a good night. When Chandler from Friends sang Kokum on one of the episodes, that's a cool way to get to the Beach Boys. That's cool. It's related to me. Brett said that he'd cover all those bad songs. Where'd it go? All those bad songs. If I didn't get to 409 subs by tomorrow, I did a 409 cover. That's cool. Barbie is great. I have no Beach Boys friends in real life, but the subreddit and this amazing community has really helped made the loss of Brian a little less painful. That's true. I feel like every time I meet Beach Boys people online, we all have the same story, but it's like why aren't we living in person together? Growing up, I got made fun of constantly for loving the Beach Boys and the Beatles and all those groups. I got picked on mercilessly for it. Um, so yeah, it was a bit of a tough childhood trying to just love what I loved. But yeah, even to this day, I definitely have some friends who love them, but nowhere near as deeply as like what you guys know about them. That's for sure. I wonder if Brian ever put down any tracks for the rock and roll album. We don't know. I'm sure there's something out there. I'm sure there's something. Any recommendations for Beach Boys inspired music? Olivia Tremor Control, Flaming Lips. Beach Boys inspired music. Gosh, there used to be a group called the Heavy Blinkers. I don't know if they're still around. This was 20 years ago. But the Heavy Blinkers had a record called "The Night and I Are Still So Young," and that was so Brian Wilson coded. It was wonderful. The Explorers Club is great. The Explorers Club is great stuff. I just bought a Smile shirt in honor of Brian. That's cool. I like food. As far as putting out unreleased Brian stuff, there was always a possibility. There's always a possibility, but I think it's still too fresh and still new. It's still too new, you know? Honestly, I don't know if Adult Child will be a part of the Love You box set, from what I understand, and I don't know everything about it, but from what I hear, it's gonna be pretty heavily focused on Love You. Um, it would make sense to have Adult Child on there because they were one of the same. They happened right next to each other so quickly. Um, so I don't know what version we'll get of Life is for the Living. I'm not sure. Full House and Chipmunks for my introduction to the Beach Boys. Yeah, Chipmunks for me. That show inspired amusement parks USA was mentioned in the song. That's a cool Beach Boys story. Wow. Love your reviews. I've gotten into Friends recently and it changed my life. Thanks for watching, Corey, and I'm glad Friends changed your life because it changed mine too. The Sunkissed ads from the 80s. Yes. I always love that the Beach Boys and Beatles are linked forever, both on Capitol. So cool. Marco, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. God bless you for keeping the summer alive. What's going to happen to Brian's Masters? We'll find out in time. It's still too fresh. Too fresh. Yeah, Lemon Twigs. Yeah, Lemon Twigs are very Beach Boys inspired. A dad, my band played in called Blue Cartoon. I love that name. Also, best Surfs Up is good and all, but best Beach Boys lyric of all time is usually a cigarette butt when you throw it in the water goes. I would love to get a box set of all the Paley sessions. There's possibly that will happen at some point. Hushabye is underrated. Yes. Hey, Giggins, thanks for doing this. Thanks for watching, Kelly. Thank you so much. My favorite Brian clip, Brian on The View talking about how people could donate to get a phone call. He starts laughing and shyly says, I get nervous. Yeah, he was really sweet. Pale Impressions by the Dukes of Stratosphere. Don't know them, Tim. Thanks for the heads up on that one. Shorn, that's really sweet. Thank you so much. And you've been here for many years at this point. So thanks for being a subscriber for all these years. Means a lot. The next major thing will be the late 70s box. I think Al said Adult Child is part of it. Brian's solo vault stuff will probably start to show up next year. Yeah, probably, but we just don't know. It's still so early. And the Brian estate is different than the Beach Boys estate. So it's a whole different, completely different entity. Hence why Getting In Over My Head and Roxy and a few other things are not on streaming. That estate's a bit different. Oh, the High Llamas. Yeah, the Wonderments. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. How would you describe Brian Wilson to someone who doesn't know him without mentioning the Beach Boys? A sweet guy who loves music and put his heart into everything he did and just wanted to make people smile. That's what I would say. I'm going to focus on writing music this summer. I don't know if I want to go after more pet sounds or fun turn fun type songs. Just write what comes from your heart. Just write. I think if you set out to sound like a certain thing, you're just going to want to sound like that certain thing. But if you write what comes from your heart and you discover that there's influences that happened along the way, that's probably the way you want to go. That's how I've always done it. Wow, Macrina, that's amazing. Went to many Beach Boys concerts, and one of my most memorable was in the 80s when Brian toured with them. Was right at the stage and got great picks. Carl threw me his pick. That's so cool. That's so cool. Thoughts on Noel Gallagher calling the Beach Boys a barbershop quartet when he was younger, but now he likes a few tracks. Well, it's Noel Gallagher, so what do you want? Like, they talk stupid stuff all the time. That's what the Oasis brothers do. Take whatever they say and just throw it out the window. It doesn't matter. When I was in high school back in the early 80s, the kids made fun of me all the time, but I didn't care. My second favorite band is the Beatles. Yeah, I hear you, Condi. I got picked on all the time, too. My favorite clip is the SNL clip from '76 with John Belushi. Yeah, let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning how. Come on safari with us. Guess we're going surfing. Favorite non-PS Beach Boys song? Oh, Pet Sounds. This Whole World off the every song is perfect album Sunflower. Oh, Jeff, thanks for the $10. Holy smokes, thank you so much for that. You did not have to do that, but thank you so much. This Whole World is absolutely magic in a bottle. That's one of the most incredible things they ever did. It sounds like happiness in a song. It's truly special. Do you watch follow Adam Marsland's videos? I have in the past. Yes, I have. It's been a minute though. I wrote a song about my breakup last year, working title Hearts Under Construction. It's like if the Fray and Ed Sheeran with an electric guitar. That's cool. Sorry about your breakup, but sometimes the best songs come from that. This car of mine or Denny's drums? This car of mine. Yeah. Favorite Beach Boys DVD? Endless Harmony, I'd say. I love that movie. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from too. Like, I always felt like the Beach Boys themselves understood how we felt, even though no one else did. Oh, we should do a Norbit watch party someday. That'd be fun. Count me in. What's your favorite iteration of Shortening Bread? Also, shout out to a few other Beach Boys channels like Beach Boys Basement, Beach Boys Talk, and Talking Down the Highway, and Jenny, of course. Talking Down the Highway, I'm not familiar with that one. I'll look that one up. Yeah, Steve Lewis, Beach Boys Basement. If you guys don't follow him, go follow Steve Lewis, Beach Boys Basement. Super nice guy. Posts great videos. He knows his stuff. And Beach Boys Talk. They don't do their show anymore, but all of the old videos are up there. And man, were they fun. I miss Tuesday nights with those guys a lot. But Talking Down the Highway, I gotta look that one up. I'm gonna write that one down because I don't know that one. Thanks for the heads up on that one, guys. Talking down the highway. If I can spell. Okay, Talking down the highway. Thanks for the heads up on that one. Oh, American Springs version of This Whole World is great too. Yeah. What's your favorite version of Surf's Up? I mean, I love the piano one of just Brian. I love all versions of it, but because it's an amazing song in all different versions, because each version has its own character. But Brian's solo on the piano is very special. When Wedding Bells Ring, what both yours and Jenny's choice for a Beach Boys song? Uh, Darlin's been one of our songs, so probably Darlin. Yeah, probably Darlin. I've got the first 3 seasons of SNL on DVD. I'll have to watch the Brian episode. Absolutely, yeah. Where can I find the Beach Boys special they had on TV back in '76? It was on YouTube. I'm assuming it's still there. Beach Boys '85 Get Your Back vid was an awesome reveal of the new Brian look. Yeah, it's a great video. Just got home from a super fun birthday bash for Brian, held by Katie Webb. Anyone in the Philadelphia area should keep their eyes out for the next event she's planning on hosting in September. Kelly, that's super cool. Yeah, I'm way too far away, so I couldn't go, but I'm glad you guys had a good time. That's super cool. That's really, really cool. I'm glad you had fun. My ex enjoyed Norbit, but my new girlfriend's birthday is today, as well as Brian's. Wow. Well, this was the one that was meant to be then. Sunflower's a masterpiece. Yeah, it is. Talking on the Gosh Down Highway. I miss Beach Boys talk on Tuesday nights. Yeah, me too. Miss it a lot. Hello, Mr. Biscuits. Darlin is my son and his fiance's song. That rules. It's a perfect song. If I marry my girlfriend, I pick Forever or Don't Worry Baby. Can't go wrong with those. My older brother always says the Beach Boys are random sound effects. He's the most ignorant person I know. Jokerman podcast shared a link for that 76 special. Nice. Thoughts on Judy from the Lost and Found? It's a cool little song. Judy. I donated $20 to the Alzheimer's charity. Those diseases are no joke. They're no joke at all. They're very sad. Yeah. Well, morning, Brian. I've been binging your videos as well as Disco Graffiti's podcast. Awesome. Have you seen Billy Corgan's podcast with Carney? I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list. Have you ever seen that video of you two with Brian at a party for Ronnie Bingham? Yeah, I think I have seen that. I think so. Hello, chat. Happy birthday to Brian Douglas Wilson. Gabriella, hello. Welcome in. TBF, some Beach Boy songs are random, but that's a minority level. They should put out a version of Judy in their first album. That'd be cool. First dance at my wedding was Let's Go Away for a While. That's awesome, Kelly. That rules. Yeah. On earlier Beach Boys albums, do you prefer mono or stereo? The earlier ones, I don't really care. In my room, stereo is killer. Yeah, I don't really mind the early ones. Once you get to like All Summer Long and Today and Summer Days and Summer Nights, then I start liking mono more. But I'll listen to stereo, of course, because it's the Beach Boys. I don't care what it is, but the mono does have a different punch. That's pretty cool. Do you think Brian Presents Smile and the Smile Sessions have the definitive heroes and villains? I feel like there are so many versions, it's hard to pick one. Yeah, I guess Brian Presents Smile is the definitive version because that's his stamp of approval. It's done. So I'm going to say that's the definitive version. The Brian Goes Surfing clip is on the SNL Season 2 DVD. What would it take for you to do a cover of Chugga Love live for us? Well, I got to learn how to play it first. I don't know the chords of that one. I don't know the chords. Sound of Free is a very underrated channel that discusses the Beach Boys. Have you checked them out? Yes, I have. But it's been a minute. I'll double check on Sound of Free. The Beach Boys song that's maybe the saddest possibly from Brian is Please Let Me Wonder. Yeah, Please Let Me Wonder is an amazing track. Just incredible. Low-key kind of jealous of all the people with Beach Boys loving friends and also partners in their life. I hate to admit it, but my only crush ever has been 60s and 70s Brian. Look, they're out there. Okay? They're out there. Yeah. Don't assume that it's never going to happen for you because when you're not looking for it, that's when someone might find you, regardless of music taste. But yeah, you never know. Tomorrow may be the day you meet somebody that changes your life. Life is strange like that, but awesome. Matthew Smith, hello. Discovered Sound of Free recently. It's worth checking out. I'll jump back into that one. I'm almost positive I follow them on YouTube. I'd rather hear Giggins cover 10 Little Indians. Nah, I'm good. Favorite David the Marksman song? Ooh, I don't know. They were cool. They could have had such a career in front of them. My Beach Boys obsession started in 2021 thanks to Austrian YouTuber Elliot Roberts. He had a very good reviews of Pet Sounds and the film Love and Mercy. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. Oh, Australian. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, you have us. Yes, these are the Beach Boys friends. This is it. This is it. This is us. Brian and Marilyn forever. Well, kinda. At least till 1978. All right, guys, we'll do a few more minutes. We'll wrap up in a couple minutes here. It's been almost an hour. I just wanted to pop on for a little while and hang out with you guys and chat for Brian's birthday. Um, so if you got any other questions here, throw them in before we wrap up for the night and call it a Friday because I'm gonna go chill out and put some records on myself. I should be less of a downer. Brian showed me that there's other people like me in the world, and I'm sure there's got to be a lot of them out there off the internet. Yeah, you never know who you're gonna meet. Simple as that. You just don't know who you're gonna run into and what kind of magic someone may bring to you or you bring to them. That's kind of the cool thing about growing up. Favorite track on Friends? Oh boy. Maybe Passing By. That might be my favorite one. For now. If you ask me in 10 minutes, I'll say something else. Do you think Mike Love is a terrible person like a lot of people do? No. Mike has said a lot of stupid things, but they all said stupid things. They all did dumb things. Maybe not so much Al and Carl, but um, they were none of them were angels, put it that way. Um, but Mike has, from what people I've talked to, it sounds like Mike's been a little bit different the last handful of years. He's sort of realizing what the Beach Boys mean to so many people, generations, forth. Um, so I think he's kind of chilled a bit. Food today, Sunflower or Friends? Friends, because I've played it a couple of times. Have you listened to Jan and Arnie? Probably. I don't remember though. Oh, Busy Doing Nothing's amazing. That's the album that got me into Friends. I first heard that song, I was like, "What is this?" Oh, you got both the Spring album and the Flame? That's a good night. Thanks, Macrina. That means a lot. Thank you so much. He made you buy a copy of Pet Sounds. That's funny. Jenny, of course I'll call you later. Best part of the day. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for the night. Thank you so much for being here. This means a lot. Um, keep playing the Beach Boys tunes. If you have questions about anything else or just want to chat, DM me on Instagram. I try to respond as fast as I can. I get a lot of messages, but I'll try to respond as fast as I can. So thank you for being here. Have a great weekend. Do your thing. Chat with each other. Play Brian's music. Let it be a part of your soul, and let's think about the good times. Because with Brian, there's lots of good times. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. See you next time. We'll do another one of these soon. It's been way too long. All right. See you guys.